The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of ACUMA, its board of directors, its management staff, or its members. The podcast discussion presented is conversational in nature and for general information only.
Hello, and welcome to ACUMA's On Point Podcast, a series focused on sharing the stories of people who are making a positive impact in the credit union mortgage industry. I'm your host, Peter Benjamin. Today, I am joined by Victor Williams, Senior Vice President of Mortgage Lending with Randolph-Brooks Federal Credit Union. Victor, my friend, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. What a great day. What a great opportunity to have a one-on-one with Peter Benjamin here.
Listen, I am truly honored that you agreed to step into the Thunderdome. Listen, I feel as though recently we have been hitting the Texas circuit, and you are the recent, volunteer as tribute to step in to the On Point podcast. So I'm super excited to have this conversation. And listen, this is a topic that I honestly think will kind of completes a conversation that we started to have, but bring it full circle. Now, as always, I always sandbag, and I always leave this little cliffhanger for our listeners. And as always, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to pause. I'm going to bring Justin in. So, the Hawk, Justin, what's going on? What is the latest and greatest happening over at ACUMA, and how are you doing today?
I'm good, Peter. How are you?
Living the dream.
Did you have to think about that one? You kind of took a long pause for me. Figured we were going with what's going on, and I'm what's to live in the dream.
I'm trying to. It's one of those days where you tell your kids you get to choose your attitude every single day. You get to consciously decide you to choose your attitude, and today is one of those days where I am consciously trying my best to decide whether or not I want to be happy or not, and so I'm doing my best to consciously decide to be happy.
Yeah, I let my kids choose their attitude if it's right.
Yeah, so I'm doing my best.
I can do that.
Today is one of those days where just energy is just low, and I'm trying my best to muster as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. It has been a crazy first half of the year. I cannot believe it's almost June already.
Tell you what, brother, it's.
I know it's been fun, but we are less than 1 week. We're not even 1 week. We are less than 1 week from our second Focal Point workshop of the year, which will be in Seattle. It's happening next week, June 3rd and 4th. Registration is still open. So if you're out there and you're in the area and you want to come to an amazing event, get some education, see a beautiful city, head over to the ACUMA website. Again, groups, credit union and CUSO groups of 2 or more can get a $200 discount off of each registration. And then our Make Your Mark annual conference, which is set to take place in Denver, Colorado this year. It's happening September 21st to the 24th. Registration is open. Again, head over to the ACUMA website. And if you are attending in groups of 3 or more in your credit union or CUSO, then you can also get a $200 discount off your registrations. Outside of our in-person events, sorry, I cut you off, Peter.
No, it's all right. It's cool, man. I'm used to it.
We try. Sometimes it's like railroad tracks. We just got to get run over a little.
No,
right?
Man, no. You were on a roll. I interrupted you. What I was going to say is, we really picked some great cities this year. Seattle, one of my favorite places in this country. Love the Pacific Northwest. Denver, pretty cool town. I mean, it's an awesome place. Looking forward to it. Again, we keep coming back to the fact that this is the best agenda that this group has put together. I honestly believe since this organization's been put together. So,
hands down.
So if you are looking for something to do this fall, you really have nothing else to do and you're looking for an event to go to, this is the that's capital THE event to attend. Best agenda, hands down. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah. And don't forget they get to come to the pregame after party on day one.
The pregame tailgate after party that we can't figure out the name of it.
It's
That's right.
it's gonna have a life of its own, just form, and they'll be like, "That's what this is."
That's
Okay,
right.
now
We're
we got
gonna
it.
we need to use Chat GBT to figure out a good name for this pregame tailgate after party because again, like we discussed, it needs a new identity. But
So that's our homework for the next episode, right?
there you go. There you go.
There we go. All right. So if you can't make it to our in-person events, we have plenty of networking and educational opportunities that are happening virtually as well. So our next our next network meeting, which is the Underwriting Network, they're having their quarterly meeting on June 10th. Registration's open for that now. So head over to the site, head over to the ACUMA site and register for that. I know that Lee and Magda would be super excited to have anybody who wants to join and contribute. And then we have our webinar series.
Sorry to interrupt you on that. The last underwriting network meeting was massive, right?
Oh, not only was it massive, it had the largest attendance for one of our network meetings ever, to the point that Magda has now challenged all of the other networks to like step it up. She was like, yes, she's like, I'm winning. She's like, it's not a contest, but I'm winning. And I was like, it's kind of a contest.
It was like 150 plus, right?
160 people.
Oh, gee, that's massive.
So everybody's got their work cut out for them, including me in the marketing network.
Right, you hear that?
So,
you hear that, Victor? 160 people. That's
the gauntlet
massive.
has been thrown down.
Seriously. Look at little old Magda talking trash. I love it.
And but then we'll have our webinar series, Fast Tracks and Inside Tracks. Those are happening year round. And then, as always, our On Point podcast, which is here to help bring the fun and learning all year.
All right. Love it. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Victor. All right. Really excited for this conversation. And, for a few reasons. About a month ago, we talked to your volume-based roundtable, or I guess volume-based network peer in Kim Moore. And we had this great conversation on the need to kind of just step away. And that it was really centered on, finding outlets to reduce that stress, and it's okay to do it. And it was really centered on, take vacation, and it's okay to take that time away. But there's another side to that. We all can't just take vacation. We all just can't take that day off. There's members that have to be served on a daily basis. Not only that, vacation isn't limitless, right? Maybe you work for an organization that has that unlimited time off, but I don't know of a credit union that offers that. And not every credit union does have that. So today's conversation is really going to be based around, what can we do on a daily basis, right? To really center ourselves to the point where we can maintain ourselves to continue to serve our members. Because ultimately, that's the goal. Put families in homes, serve our members, serve our communities, but we have to do it with a healthy mind, a healthy body, in a positive way. If we can't maintain those things, we're not going to do it. We're not going to move this movement forward. So before we get to this conversation, I have to ask the first question that I always ask everyone, because it's important. It's an important question that I ask, and I do it strategically. And I'm going to preface it by saying this. It's always my preface. ACUMA's On Point podcast is a people piece. Again, it's a story about the people who make a positive impact in our industry. So that first question, who is Victor Williams? Who are you? So inquiring minds want to know. This is really important because this is about spotlighting the difference makers in our industry, because all too often we hear about, you know, the top originators in IMBs, the people in banks doing these amazing things. Well, you know what? Credit unions, hands down, are the best people out there in this industry. I fully believe it. Give me a Victor Williams over anyone in the IMBs, and we'll show them how to do it. Right? That's how I personally feel. So, before we dive in, who is Victor Williams?
Well, that's have big shoes to fill for myself here, Peter. So that's it. As you come off and say, well, who is Victor Williams? And I'll come off saying, well, been a longtime employee here at Randolph-Brooks Federal Credit Union, probably just celebrated 30 years here with the institution, 25 plus years in the mortgage area, just in various different roles. And it's been a fantastic journey being part of a growing organization, and now we're probably one of the top 15 credit unions in the nation now, just year over year, great growth. And that comes to us just more from great leadership from top to bottom, and a great team to work with. And things that we talk about, again, me, Victor, different philosophies, different points from our old CEO to our new CEO. We try and embody three good core principles within us. It's like, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of the credit union. You have this nice triangle, and as we talk about that, it's like, well, you need good work-life balance. It's like it can't all be just the institution. It can't all be just mortgage lending. That kind of makes you a dull person, in my opinion. So, while it's fun to live it, eat it, and breathe it, you also need to be able to subtract yourself and recharge your batteries. Hence, part of our conversation point today.
Right. I mean, I get it. But again, but tell me more about you. Let's kind of go back to that first question. So obviously you've been there for a while. Walk us through your time there outside of. I'm guessing you kind of rose through the ranks, saw some success. But who are you outside of this of Randolph Brooks? Because I think it plays in well to the conversation, because today's conversation is really based off of that need to step away. And you said it. You had that triangle, right?
Sure.
And so I'm gonna drive into this first question. Who is Victor? A little bit more, and I hope you don't mind, because that is I think this is, if anything, this episode is truly going to be focused on who we are outside of the credit union, outside
Sure.
of ACUMA. So let's dive into it.
Sure. As we jump into this, just we all probably outside of mortgage lending, outside of acumen, we all chase different passions in life. And for me, like, we're in our normal workday 8 to 5, you're wearing the mortgage lending hat. So what do you do afterwards? What are other fun things that Victor does? So I've got a few hobbies. One of them is cycling, and it's just not only just a little bit on the road bike. You might be doing some gravel or even mountain bike, but just across the different disciplines, it, it helps you decompress, get away from work, and exercise, and have a lot of fun. And with that, with some of my friends that I cycle with here in the San Antonio area, we take these various different guide trips every once in a while, and you get to travel, see different parts of the United States, or even do a little bit of international travel to go watch some international competitions. And the cool thing about that is when you're there, you're kind of forced not to think about work. So
You recently came back from like was it a trip to Belgium, if I remember correctly, and you watched like it wasn't Tour de France, but it was another pretty popular race, right?
Yeah, it was that was called it's cyclocross worlds. So there's a sport called cyclocross where probably more predominant on the European side, where you have some really fantastic Dutch and Belgium riders, and from all across the world. And it's a combination, a little bit of dirt, some obstacles, a little bit of pavement, and they just turn themselves inside out for about an hour going on around a predefined course. And even within that community, whether you're from the United States, from Belgium, from France, Germany, wherever, it's a fantastic group of fan base that are just rabid about I guess watching cycling, but then there might be a few adult beverages mixed in with that too.
I mean, who doesn't like a good adult beverage?
Exactly. And again, that trip to Belgium, that was more for cyclocross worlds, and me and a handful of my friends, we have a weakness for some of those Belgian beers too. So you were right there in the the holy grail center spot of good, fine tasting adult beverages.
Yeah, sure. All right. So for you, that outlet is really focused on, cycling, stepping away. And I'm guessing because, for me, prior to, kids, I used to be a runner. In my younger, leaner days, I used to love running. I used to go running quite a bit. And it was about just this mental aspect of zoning out. And I could just get in the zone and not think about anything and could run for hours. And I'm guessing, for me, it was the freedom, the silence, the breathing, but even just going someplace and just looking at the beauty of things, right? So I'm guessing for you, when you go cycling, whether it's by the way, I didn't realize they had mountains in San Antonio, but they just going someplace, hopping on your road bike, hopping on your mountain bike, and just going is your form of release and a way to mentally decompress from the stress of work and an escape from reality for that brief moment in time. I'm guessing that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. You've got it summed up pretty good there. So we have other friends there. Their channel is golf. They're really good at it. I decided, hey, I'm not that good at golf, so get out there and do something you find a little bit more enjoyment in. So
I mean, as Justin knows, Justin doesn't have to be good at golf just to get out there. It's half of it's just the smell of grass.
That's really rude. That's true. I mean, like, granted, I can hold my own on a course, you know that, but I tell Peter all the time I don't play with my 14-year-old anymore because I got tired of being beat by a teenager who's like on his way to like high school golf at this point. So yeah, no, but golf is one of those outlets. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's a really good point, Victor. Like, and I find it interesting that Peter said before kids and everything, his was running, and I'm sure he did that outdoors a lot. And cycling, I'm pretty sure you do that outdoors. Like, I've always used golf as an outlet for me, and that's definitely something that can be done mostly outdoors. For me, it's just that outdoor part, right? Is Yeah, it's nice that we have really good jobs, and we have, we're grinding every day, but at the end of it, like, sometimes you just want to go outside. You just want to get outside, get outdoors. I know Krista's not on the call with us, but when we're even in meetings, like at the end of the meeting, Peter, like, Krista's the first one. I got to go for a walk. I got to get outside. Right? It's just that ability to disconnect for, even if it's just for 30 minutes, just to get outdoors and just get some fresh air. Like that power alone goes so far.
sure. And Justin, you you're hitting the nail on the head on one of your comments there when you're talking about your 14-year-old starting to beat you in golf. It's like even a handful of my friends, whether it's golf, basketball, or even cycling, is watching their kids grow up. They've been the teacher forever, and now their kids are becoming the teacher and schooling them. It's like when the teacher becomes the student, it's kind of fun to watch that transition where, like, dad used to beat son all the time. Now son is like just running circles around him, and it's kind of humbling, but at the same time, fun to watch them grow in their extracurricular career.
Yeah, I mean, I hate losing. I mean, on one of the recent issues of Footnotes that came out, I even told, like, there was a comment in there about, like, oh, we went and played putt putt. By the way, I won. Like that was my coup de grace, if you will. Like, I won at putt putt. I beat a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, there's Victor. There's a reason why I go to the gym on a daily basis. So just in preparation for my young kids, to get to that point where they possibly could beat me at something, they're going to have a really tough time being able to do so because I'm still going to be stronger than them. I might not be faster than them, but I'm definitely going to be stronger than them. And that's all that matters, right? Because, hey, they might be quicker on their toes, but dad's got the strength, and that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
That's right. But, for me, I've also learned that all too often, and this happens quite a bit, right? We work, and I think I said this in Kim's episode, right? When we were talking about the stress that we go through and the idea of overcoming burnout. All too often, there is a lot of burnout in our industry. And I said this, we don't have a hard job. We don't. The mortgage industry is not hard. What makes it difficult is that we have 2001 things we have to do on a daily basis. That, on top of the fact that there's also 2001 things that we have to remember. Those two things make it difficult. 2001 things that we have to do and 2001 things that we have to remember. That's what makes it difficult. The rest is easy, right? 1 + 1 = 2. If you can remember that, that's as hard of the most difficult math that you have to do in the mortgage business. Being kind to someone, that's the most difficult conversation you really have to have in the mortgage business, really. So the mortgage business is not tough. It's just you have to remember a lot. One thing I also notice is that, yes, there's the physical aspect and, the idea of a good physical activity is a great way to recharge. But sometimes going for a run isn't always realistic, right? Or going for that I guess cycle or going for that ride, in the middle of the day isn't realistic, right? So what's that thing that you can do, or what's that thing that you do, Victor, that's, hey, it's 11 o'clock, I'm feeling stress. And Victor, you are probably, Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's probably the most even keeled person I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, hands down, right? But what's one thing that you tell your people, hey, just go do something for like 5 minutes, just go catch a breath, go take a breather. Like for me, when I'm feeling stressed out, I'm actually literally standing over my home brewery. Like my brewery is right underneath me. It's weird that like my two meccas are in the
So
same
when you're
exact
stressed out,
spot.
you go have a beer.
No, I don't go have I mean, shh, Justin. No, but I just go tinker. I just go down there, or sometimes I just go down there and sit because one, it's quiet. It's a no kid zone. But two, there's always something to do down there. I might just clean for like a quick second because there's a lot of stainless steel and I like shiny stainless steel. But two, I might just organize, even though everything's been organized already. I might just reorganize it. But it's not. I'm not staring at a computer. Or Justin and I go and collect stickers at different breweries whenever we travel. I might go put a sticker on something, and that's 10 minutes away from my computer, and it's in a place that makes me happy. So, but what do you do, and what do you recommend to your people throughout the course of the day? Because obviously we can't go for a run at 11 o'clock during the middle of the day.
Yeah, for sure. See, the other thing, some other things about me, just more not having any children. My wife and I, we've supplemented that with a bunch of different animals. So we've got 4 dogs, 2 cats. Uh, Somewhere along the way, my wife snuck a prairie dog into the mix too. So that,
Whoa. How did you tame is it a tame prairie dog or?
yeah, that was more probably right around pre-COVID. She worked as an office manager in a small vet animal clinic, and there was I guess they were in one of the branches of the service. They were going out for it was a remote PCS, so they were going somewhere overseas, and they had 2 prairie dogs, and they had raised these since babies. They were basically hand raised since a baby, and they ended up getting surrendered at her vet clinic, and they were more the that the token prairie dogs run around the office or whatnot. And then COVID happened. They sent people home. They were starting to get a little bit disruptive. And next thing I know, it's like I come home one day and there's this prairie dog habitat hanging out in one of our spare bedrooms. I'm like, wow, what just happened here? But actually, they've been hand raised since babies. One of them actually passed away, so there's one left, and his name's Lou. He's this little chunky thing, and he's most of the time he just hangs out at his habitat, sleeps a lot. He comes out, likes to get scratched behind the head a little bit, and he's also kind of like a cat. He wants attention till he doesn't, and then he turns into a big jerk. But
Okay.
a lot of fun on that. So it's like these interesting things. So it's things that you can do to, well, if Lou's sleeping, then it's like more, the dogs, they play really well together. So then we just go outside, throw the ball for about 5 or 10 minutes, and they play their game. Like, hey, when they start playing keep away from me, I'm like, okay, we're done. So
That's pretty awesome, actually.
and I probably have 20 hours of stupid dog videos on my phone, just of them playing, doing stupid stuff. So it's even when you're bored, in a way, it's like you go back to your videos and they're like, oh, look at that when they were babies. So
Yeah, but that's one of those things that nobody else has a prairie dog. Like no one that I've ever met owns a prairie dog. So like you always have that on your side of like, I have a great conversation starter.
for sure, it's like, tell me something unique about yourself that somebody doesn't know. It's like, oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it, but
Yeah.
we have a pet prairie dog. So
I mean, technically, that's considered an exotic pet, right?
who knows? So years ago, we were doing some other things, and Danielle put them out in this little habitat thing in the garage, and one of them pushed it out of the way and escaped. And so, like, we're like, oh, we're never going to see Lou again. And she throws out there on the Nextdoor app, and hey, our prairie dog escaped. And we have some really good witty neighbors. And I'm like, well, we hope he pops up somewhere. And there are a few other, like, just really spins on, hey, hope you find him. And actually, one of the neighbors did find him. And you get this call, and it's like, hey, we think we have your prairie dog. And I'm like, oh yeah, you do. So when got him, brought him back home, and so he covered some ground. He made it further away than we thought he did. These little fun stories.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, but okay. So coming back, what do you tell your people? So if you have a staff member who is, again, not everyone's perfect. People get stressed out. What do you tell your staff throughout the course of the day to kind of recharge?
It's more just things you need to do. You need to get up, walk around. You don't need to stare at the screen for 8 hours. You're just destined for, in my mind, you're destined for depression. So it's like you got to get up, do something, step away, whether it's go outside, take a quick walk around the block, call your spouse, tell them how awesome they are, do something, get away, separate yourself, and then come back and jump back in and go. There's that. There a variety of different things, but just it's forcing yourself to unplug and do something totally different than what you normally do. If it's like maybe play the New York Times mini crossword, that thing, you can usually get it done in 5 minutes or less. So
Okay. Love it. Love it. Well, Victor, we have to start transitioning to the second segment, but before we do, I always ask the same questions. The first question and last questions are always the same. So the last question is, what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated? You're just like everyone else, 1 foot out of bed in the morning. So what keeps you going?
great question, Peter. As I think about my career at the institution, I've been in various different roles, even different business units. Think things that you can probably scratch your head on. It's like he really started in internal audit. So and like and it's like, as you think about jobs or other things, like even starting from that spot in audit, it's like after a year or so, I realized that I really don't want to do this forever. So then you're seeking out other opportunities, and did a few things on the consumer lending side, and finally landed in mortgage lending 25 plus years ago. And then it starting to grow through different segments of what we do in mortgage lending, whether it's the origination side, the operations, the servicing, the whole 9 yards, and like what we do on secondary. It's like I finally found my passion. This is really, really what I want to do. And so when I think about that, it's like how, again, the passion for mortgage lending, the passion for our members, how can we better serve them, bring them great products? Just it's uh, you eat it, you live it, you breathe it every day, and then you, you find some great organizations like ACUMA, and even with our local Texas Curing Network, where you then meet other great minds across the nation or even within the state, uh, collaborate and talk. That's a lot of those things that kind of that recharge me and keep me going from a mortgage lending perspective on really what is that passion. It's like even having a great staff and a great group of people that uh, work for you. It it makes the job fun.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. All right, Victor, here we go. We have the transition to the second segment. Now, in the second segment, this is something where we sometimes play Jeopardy. Sometimes we just do random trivia. We haven't really done that much lately, but today we're doing the most requested segment of dad jokes. So prior to the recording, I asked you to come prepared with 2 to 3 dad jokes. So I imagine you came prepared with some dad jokes, correct?
I did. But then my repertoire isn't as huge as some others. I think earlier we were visiting with Justin, and I think he has probably a library of about 1,000. But to transition into this, Justin and Peter, then I started to think, it's like, well, what's the best way to save your dad jokes? Do you know that answer?
I don't.
No, you put them in a database.
See, I like how he just immediately rolls right into it. Immediately rolls right into it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so Victor, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna do
Okay.
2 dad jokes. Justin will do 2 dad jokes, and then I will wrap up with 2 dad jokes. Sounds good?
Perfect.
All right, so rock and roll, Victor. Go.
Yeah, this might be oldie but a goodie, but one of the ones that I always like have a lot of fun with is, why does Norway put barcodes on their Navy ships?
Why?
So they can Scandinavian when they arrive in port.
That was good.
Uh,
That was
Yeah,
good.
that
Scandinavians.
having a lot of fun with that, and just and of course, because my wife is an equestrian, she rides horses. So this other one, it's like a pony walks into a noisy bar and tries to order a beer. The bartender says, "I can't hear you. You'll have to speak up." And the pony says, "Well, sorry, I'm a little hoarse." That one's a little bit
That's
more
good.
cornier, but anyhow.
That's good. That's good. All right, Justin, go.
what's an astronaut's favorite part of the computer?
Space bar.
Oh, I knew you were gonna get
Wow.
Let's just see if Peter can get another one. All right. Which vegetable has the best kung fu?
Which vegetable has the best kung fu? Which one?
I'd answer it with the pork chop, but
Broccoli.
broccoli. Oh, I get it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, see?
All right. That's all right. My turn. All right. Why did the dog get arrested?
For urinating in public.
He had unpaid barking tickets.
That's a good one.
Okay. I'm a little concerned with this one. It's a little risque, but I'm going to go with it. It won't make it explicit, I promise.
Fine.
Oh boy, I'm terrified.
Now we're on
I'm
pins
not.
and needles.
I think
when I read this one, I laughed. So I'm just going to go with it.
Perfect.
All right. A man is buying a banana, an apple, and 2 eggs. The cashier says, "You must be single." The man replied, "How'd you know that?" The cashier says, "Because you're ugly."
That's so mean.
Sorry. I
Wow,
left my own joke.
oh wow, that one's that
I told you I laughed at it.
Uh,
Sorry. I'm sorry. I still
oh boy,
laughed at
Peter.
it. Sorry. I told you. I'm sorry.
that was a good one though.
Sorry. I told you.
Wow, that's we could almost do a podcast for an hour on just dad jokes back and forth.
Oh, don't tempt him.
I totally would. All right. That's actually a great idea. How about we invite 10 guests and we just have an episode to.
Yeah, I'm gonna add it to the list along with what was our other one? Haunted Tours podcast.
Yeah.
Ghost
yeah.
Tours.
Yeah, we're going to do a live episode of Haunted Tours. And we're just going to narrate the haunted tour.
For sure. Yeah, I've got one of my folks that attends some of the ACUMA events, Diana Byrne. She's into doing crazy things like that, haunted tours, visiting different cemeteries, different other things. She'd be a
That'd be
fantastic
so awesome.
invite for that.
Heck yeah. All right, Victor, we got to wrap up. Well, Victor, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to sit down with us and have this conversation. Really enjoyed it. But also, thank you for being such a great champion of the credit union movement. Again, always appreciate talking to you and looking forward to seeing you soon at an upcoming ACUMA event.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you for the invite, and it was what fun. I'm looking for the right word there, fun.
No, that's all right. Good. Justin, as always, thank you very much.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
And to wrap up everything else, and to all of you, we know your time is valuable. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of ACUMA's On Point podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be well, my friends.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time at the ACUMA On Point podcast. If not already, be sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. For more great episodes and information, be sure to visit us online at acuma.org. And to get the latest updates, head over to our LinkedIn page.